the only reason I said that is because in English football, the greatest manager of all time is Sir Alex Ferguson. It's the only way you can actually make an argument for Pep is if you make it just Premier League, where Sir Alex, some of those years get cut off. I do think it's still Sir Alex. Now, if you asked who's the better manager, I think Pep is. Welcome to the Class is Permanent podcast. Today is Tuesday, May 19th. We have episode 47 ahead of you, and this might be one of our biggest episodes yet. I don't think we've ever had so much news drop on one day. Obviously, you're going to jump into Pep Guardiola. It's been announced that it is his final season. Mourinho gets the Madrid job. Xabi Alonso gets the Chelsea job. The Brazil national team squad has come out. Matches from the weekend. A ton of info. Let's get into it. Away we go.
Class is permanent! Hey, 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 hey. Form is temporary! Hey, 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 hey. Form is temporary!
Alrighty, I don't want to spend too much time on intros, but I'd love to introduce my co-host, a man who... I got nothing funny to say today. How are you, Pooch?
I am so tired.
Yeah, okay. Figured it was something like that.
I am so tired. Yeah, I got back from a bachelor party, like a 4 or 5 day bachelor party this afternoon. So I'm close to E, not Ethan Cohen, empty. But hey, sometimes you got to work through your COVID game, and this is my COVID game.
Do you have COVID?
No, I
Okay.
probably should have. I should have said flu game, but I don't have the flu either. This
All
is basically what you're going to see is an MJ flu game performance out of me right now, because I've made sure not to fall asleep before this.
Wow. Okay. So I see you guys had a really good time. Good to hear. I actually have a sty on my eye, so I'm battling through it too today. But but all good. And then we're joined by a man who does not like the new Drake album and is also going on a road trip. Owen.
Hey.
All right, that's enough out of Owen. Let's get into the news then. We'll jump right in. By the way, no one asks how I am. We'll jump right in. And Pooch, where do you want to start here? What are these managerial decisions do you want to start? Because I'm very excited to go into all three.
We'll start at the one we've talked the least about, probably Xabi Alonso to Chelsea.
Yeah, let's get in there. So Chelsea have officially announced that Xabi Alonso will be taking over, I guess, starting this summer. When LinkedIn Liam was sacked, I think there was a lot of speculation, maybe Mourinho, maybe, I don't know, at some point, maybe Simeone, a lot of different names, maybe Cesc Fabregas. And I think Xabi Alonso was a name that kind of just stuck around. And I think for both parties, it actually makes sense. I know a lot of Chelsea fans who are kind of hesitant about it. I know a lot of people who think it's not a good move for him. And I kind of agree it might not be. But I don't know. This feels like the type of move that both of them needed. I actually kind of like the fit.
I also saw that apparently Xabi Alonso is getting say over transfers, which 100%. I think will be super important to Chelsea in general. Once again, I know we did a footy feud the other day on who spent the most or who sold the most players in the offseason. I don't think that's going to change. I still think Chelsea will sit there and say, okay, Xabi Alonso wants 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. We'll get those 5 players and then also bring in another 15 players that we want. So I think if anything, it'll just be maybe more of those first team bigger name signings that he wants that they'll bring in, but everything else will be still Blue Co who they want. But I think this is probably the most serious hire they've had in their tenure.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, like it's the only one that's made me kind of go, oh, okay, Chelsea might be back within a year or two.
I agree. And I think the big thing, like you said, is him having the power over transfers, which just makes sense, though, especially because he is a manager who plays a very specific style. And that was going to be my next point is I'm curious to see, right, the 3-5-2 kind of formation or the 3-4-1. 3-5-2, I guess, is kind of what he was doing over there. But I'm really curious to see what he tries to do with this team. Does he keep them in a back four? Does he try to implement his system? It'll be interesting to see with the current roster they have because they already have so many players that I wonder how much we'll be just looking back into the squad, and being like, all right, well, like who maybe has been cast away that maybe now is a fit. I don't know. Maybe Liam Delap is a better fit in a 2-striker system versus their current kind of like 4-3-3, right? Does Cole Palmer play as a 10 in this system, or does he play as the right mid? Because in most cases, he wouldn't be the right mid in a 3-5-2, right? That's kind of a wing back type of role. That's maybe a Reece James or someone like that. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do.
Well, they'll definitely need to bring in a second striker because João Pedro is going to go to Barcelona. Sorry.
I don't know if I want him.
You're gonna need him.
Here's the thing: is I mean, and now we're getting to Barca talk, but the thing about João Pedro is he kind of fits what Barca needs in the sense of like pressing striker. He has really good link up play, and he's had 15 goals this year. We're going to get into the fact he just got left off the Brazilian national team, which I'm not sure if it's a mistake or not. We'll get into that, but depends the price. But again, just going back to this Chelsea team, looking at the roster, right? Like you probably have players that fit, right? Like Jarell Hato is a left back for them right now, but he's probably more of a back three left center back, right?
Well, he played back three for Ajax.
Right, that's my point. So like,
yeah,
he's probably a natural fit there. Yeah, right? Cucurella can probably fit really nicely as a true left, like mid left wing back.
I did also say Cucurella is going to be gone. That
you think so?
He's either. I think I saw. I mean, so hand up. I know we're going to be talking about the Drake album later. I didn't even know he dropped an album, let alone 3, until this morning. Even when I tell you I've been out of the news, I think I saw, like, I've not been looking at my phone all weekend. So, like, I saw a text message from you, be it, like, your text messages on, like, Friday. And I was like, dude, okay, I need to respond to him. Like, but, yeah, there's a lot of things that I've missed. So one of the things I did see was he wants to either go to Barcelona or Atleti.
Interesting. I do see here. I just did a very quick Google search. And you never know, right? Because like every player's linked everywhere. You could type any player's name in. Today I was doing a Spurs career mode and I typed in I forget who it was. Oh, Adam Warren. I put in Adam Warren Tottenham, and then there was like, oh, Spurs are heavily linked. I then just curiously typed in Arsenal Adam Warren. It's like Arsenal are very interesting. Like I did it for the big 6 and every team was linked. I know it's a big player, but my point is you never know how much. But going into it real quick, looking at this team, and we won't get into too much, but like Reece James could probably play as a true right back, or a guy like Malo Gusto is a good fit. I'm just trying to think of some of the names that maybe like Caicedo will be great with them. Enzo Fernandez, we think he's leaving, or is he staying?
I think he's gone.
I don't know. It's so hard.
When I say I do think that there will be massive exits at Chelsea, I still think that there's going to be a lot of guys that maybe are like, I'm kind of done with Chelsea. And those are the obvious ones of Enzo Fernandez, Cucurella, I think will be gone. João Pedro, I think will be gone. And then obviously Cole Palmer, I think, is gone. He's going to go to Manchester United, as we've been reporting first since January.
Yeah, he's homesick.
He's
homesick, which is understandable.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
It'll definitely be interesting to see. I'm happy. Something else I saw is like regarding the Big 6. It's been the first time in a while that the Big 6 all have like really notable managers, or like serious managers per se. I mean, I guess with the Pep news, you lose that a little bit. And I guess Arne Slot maybe, but I don't know. I guess it was just the fact like Xabi Alonso, De Zerbi's at Spurs, Arsenal have Arteta. At this point, when I saw that tweet, it was Pep at City, and then Arne. But I mean, in Arne's defense, he won the Premier League, so it's
Michael Carrick too. You're forgetting he's a bozo alert.
No, Michael Carrick's a good manager. I don't know what your hatred of you. You have a lot of United hatred.
He's going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 2.0.
He's not now. He's going to win them everything. He's going to win them the Champions League.
We'll see how he does 3 games a week.
It's definitely a lot, but I also
we'll say brother couldn't even get Middlesbrough promoted.
Well, we'll have to see there. But excited to see what Xabi Alonso. I'm not really excited to see what Xabi Alonso does at Chelsea, but I do think that's a good move.
I think also real quick before we move off, I think Liverpool missed the boat.
Yeah,
having
this
one
was
of their best players of the last 20 years, literally twerking to come to you, and then they said, no, we're going to stick with Baldy over there.
This was a bad decision by Liverpool, which I understand partially. It's like, well, I have a manager that won me a Premier League, and I was watching a video the other day. Szoboszlai was doing something on Sky Sports. He was showing people that hit free kicks, and I was like, you know what? I probably should just tune in. This is one of those things that who am I to say no? So I was tuning in. He was talking. He was like, this has been like a transition period type of year, and we have a lot of players like new faces, old faces, things like that. So I think Liverpool are trying to be respectful and give him the benefit of the doubt and give him another year. But yeah, like this is a huge miss. Now here's the question: Arnie gets fired next year, right? Say he does. Say they decide to go different ways. Does Cesc then go to Liverpool? And now Chelsea and Liverpool, maybe they do a transfer. They swap managers.
No. I mean, that would be funny, but
that'd be kind of awesome, right?
I think I also wouldn't be shocked if they asked Cesc like before they made the Alonso decision, and he was like, I want to see Como play. Like I want to manage Como in Europe for at least a year.
It's the best position. Like sometimes when I'm making the big jump, especially when you're a manager like Cesc who knows it's coming, like you're like in line for a big move, like you're in the best position possible. You're a god in Como. You own the team, part of the team or whatever stake. You're living in a beautiful city, and your team is a young, fun team that's playing in Champions League. That like I know it's like, oh well, what if that Chelsea team any year they could compete 100%, but it's also so much harder. Like the pressure,
also at Como right now, you have a confirmed we're going to be in Europe. Chelsea, you might get there year one and you're not even in Europe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And your best player is going to leave because he's going to Manchester United.
Oh, I thought their best player is going to Barcelona.
João Pedro or Cucurella? I'd prefer Cucurella over Pedro, but I do feel like last year Deco really wanted Luis Diaz. Like over Nico Williams, over all Barca fans, like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Why would you take like a 28, 29-year-old Luis Diaz over a 22-year-old Nico? Like, he's an idiot. And then all your Barca fans are like, shit, we should have let Deco cook.
Yeah.
Like, Deco cook. So, like, the whole João Pedro thing, everyone's like, why are they, like, they want João Pedro over Alvarez, or, oh, they want him over Victor Osimhen, and everyone's like, Don, just let him cook. Just let him cook. He knows what he's doing.
And I don't want to get down too far into the Barca rabbit hole because we do have a lot of news to talk about. But a striking duo of Julian Alvarez and João Pedro would do elite numbers for the South American Barcelona community.
Well, going off that, and we don't have to go too far in the Barca rabbit hole. We're a couple steps into it, but we don't have to go all the way down. I guess YouTube TV is pretty big in Brazil, and whoever just got the La Liga rights in Brazil is putting all the La Liga games on YouTube TV for free in Brazil.
That's awesome.
So they were just like, oh, like all of Brazil are going to come Barcelona, like the youth, because they're going to watch Lamine Yamal and be like, okay, this guy's Brazilian. So yeah, we're expecting the numbers. But let's move over to our next piece of business. The opposite of Barcelona, Real Madrid has officially announced that Jose Mourinho will be taking over this summer. We've talked about this in depth, so I don't think we have to go too much.
Yeah.
I think we're on different sides of the aisle in regard to, is this the right choice? I'm going to let you take the ball first here. We're not debating. I'm just letting you get your thoughts out now that it's official.
Yeah, I do think this is the right choice because I think he'll bring a level of professionalism to that locker room that's missing. And I think he will have a direct line to Perez, basically being like, I'm your guy. I'm here to win stuff. I will tell you who's going to win and who's not. I saw a great clip of the Tottenham All or Nothing with Jose.
Yeah.
Where basically he was like, the caption was like, this is the type of mentality he's going to instill into the locker room. And it basically was him just being like, you got to hold each other accountable. Like nobody fight, like your brothers, like nobody fights, yada, yada, yada. Just about like the Tottenham locker room. So, but like, that's what he's going to bring. He's going to be a hard ass on guys, but also at the same time, he's honestly probably a player's coach, if anything. So I do think it's the right, it's not one of those where it's like Alonso, where you're like, Alonso is going to be there probably 3 or 4 years if everything goes well. Jose, even if things go well, he's gone. I mean, the contract's 2 years. He's probably leaving after 2 years. And I also wouldn't be shocked if he leaves after 1 year when a name comes available and wants to go to Real Madrid. I think his whole job is going to come in and just let's get the ship back on course. Let's make sure we're all rowing in the same direction and we don't have the media circus of players leaking information. There's videos online of the Vinny Jr. Team Vinny Jr. versus Team Mbappe. like floating around. Like it's like the whole circus. We're closing it all up and bringing it in house. If you have an issue, bring it in house, not out of house.
Correct. Here's the thing. I think for those reasons, it is the right hire. I just think, like you said, so when they asked Perez, I guess in one of these interviews, why is Mourinho your first choice? And he said, you know, when Mourinho took over, we were in a tough period. He's talking about obviously like the early 2010s. We were in a tough period. He came in and like the 3 years after, the locker room was strong and they won 3 Champions Leagues. My problem is 3 years after he left, it was the year after he left, they started really winning. And
100%.
And that's where it's like, as a Barca fan, I don't care. But I don't think Jose Mourinho with this current Madrid team or even his current tactics, like I think Barca could win the La Liga for the next 3 straight years if he's going to be there 3 years. Maybe they'll win a Champions League. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like I can see them winning some tournament games. I just think, I don't know.
But I think the important part of what you mentioned was they won the next 3 years after he left. I don't think Perez is bringing in Mourinho to be the guy to like, hey, if he lose like Xabi Alonso was, where it's like win the title or leave type of thing, or like an Ancelotti. Like an Ancelotti is not a like, hey, I'm gonna refocus everybody, bring them together, and if we win, great. If not, that's okay because everybody's on the same boat again. I think right now, like the whole thing with Mourinho is just, I just need you to steer the ship in the right direction because right now we have a ton of guys everywhere. And I could see them afterwards turning to a Jurgen Klopp after 2 years and being like, hey, we have this team that now fully functions as a team. Everybody has the image of what we want to do. Come in and take over and bring us to the promised land. Mourinho's the guy, I think, to get them there. And I wouldn't be shocked if Mourinho's okay with that. Basically, you know Mourinho, even if they don't win anything while he's there for 2 years, if they win 3 Champions Leagues or 3 La Liga titles consecutively after that, he will claim that as his. He will be like, without me, they don't get there.
Well, he's also never going to get a job like this again. Let's be honest. Maybe a national team, but he was never going to get something like this. I don't know. I guess my view on Mourinho, and I think the bigger issue is the fact sacking Xabi Alonso was the first issue, the biggest issue, because there was not a better opportunity for a young manager to become your project manager, your next Zizou, essentially, where it's like, all right, we're going to build a team for him and we're going to win with him and he could be here the next 5 years. And like, that's where they kind of fucked up. Because now it's like, all right, so you sack him. It's like, who's next up?
I'll say this though, throughout our lifetime though, Real Madrid has never been a project spot. It's win or go home.
That's
like
true.
a Barcelona has been the project spot in Spain, where it's like, hey, we're going to build a project here. It starts with the youth, and then we bring in those pieces later on.
Right.
Barcelona has always been the Spanish project team. Real Madrid has always been we're not a project. We're just going to go grab the best players in the world, and if you can't make it work, we'll find somebody that will. I think this would be the first time that they're really in our lifetime is going to be like, all right, let's actually do a project.
I guess when I meant project, I didn't mean it and you're right. Like I didn't mean it the same way like Xabi Alonso is a project at Chelsea. I guess I meant it in the sense like, you know, instead of the Ancelotti who it's like, all right, I'm going to win the Champions League in La Liga this year, right? Like that's what I'm competing for. Where you have a manager where it's like, all right, like he's going to be here for 5 years, right? Yeah. Like this is his team. Like we're going to play his style. Like Ancelotti kind of felt like when he came in, he was just like, I'm going to put the best players on the field. You could sign whoever the big names are, and I'm just going to put them on the field, and we're going to win, right? And it feels like Jose, even if Jose tries to do that, I don't think it's going to work necessarily. And like you said, he has to right the ship. I think there's going to be another team. This is going to be another team with a big exodus. Like Camavinga is going to probably leave this summer. Tchouaméni or Valverde. It's going to be Tchouaméni. It's not going to be Valverde that leaves. He's the captain. I mean, Mbappe's there. No one's going to. First off, this was a conversation I had with my dad. Where does Mbappe go? Like, who wants Mbappe right now? I know most people say my team will take him. But like, would you take Mbappe at Arsenal right now?
No. Mbappe is literally just LeBron, if that makes sense. Where best player in the world, but also, you know, if you have him, he's running the show.
That's my point. Like who would take Mbappe right now?
You need a manager in charge that's willing to do that.
You know what he needs?
And the fact that he's never won a Champions League shows that. He needs Deschamps, if anything.
you know, what he needed Luis Enrique at PSG because Luis Enrique came in with pedigree. And also, like, I don't know. It's just kind of funny looking back. It's like, what team right now would go, yeah, I'll put Mbappe, like, Mbappe makes this better. Of course, talent-wise, yes. But, like, even if you look at the best teams, like, PSG would be like, fuck no, we don't want him back, right? Man City would probably say, fuck no, he's going to get in the way of Haaland, right? Like, Barcelona would say, fuck no, where's he playing, right? It's kind of one of those funny things where you're looking around and you're like, so where's he going? He almost gets like a Victor Osimhen where it gets like, send him to Galatasaray, right? Like, he's got to go somewhere where like there's like, fuck it, just put the best player on the field. So he's got to change his image. His image is horrific right now. Somehow Vinicius Jr. is like looking good as like a person compared to Mbappe. You know what I mean? But whatever. That's Mourinho talk. We'll obviously have a lot more to talk about them as their summer goes on. Moving on, the big news that came out last night, Pep Guardiola is officially set to leave Manchester City this summer. So, yeah, his title with the FA Cup is most likely his final one. We'll see how he does against Bournemouth, but how the season ends. But this is big news. I think it's shocking, but not shocking, if that makes sense. Like, I think everyone knew, like, all right, one of these days it's going to be the end of Pep. But I also think it didn't really feel so much like it was going to be this year, even though it makes sense. It really feels like Bernardo Silva's leaving. It feels like this team needs a little bit of a makeover, needs probably a little more fire to him again. And Enzo Maresca seems expected to be the successor, according to David Ornstein. So we'll have to see how that goes there. I think he's going to be a good manager. Real quick, before we even get into the Pep stuff, here's how I would have probably put people at their clubs this summer, manager-wise. So we're getting the vacancies, right? Chelsea, Madrid, who else? Chelsea, Madrid, I guess City. So I think the best fit would have probably been Xabi Alonso for Real Madrid. I think he would have fit that job very, very strongly. I think Enzo Maresca would have fit that Chelsea job like super well. And then, so it's just funny. It's just funny. You see all this like rigmarole going on and you're like, it's like, why are all these people switching clubs? And they're all kind of dysfunctional other than City with how they're going. But real quick, Pat, Pooch, I'll let you jump in your thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all kind of there. I wouldn't be shocked if behind the scenes there was stuff being said that he was going to leave. That's why you see Bernardo Silva leaving, John Stones leaving, like all of those guys kind of
also out of contract.
Yeah, but I'm sure they would have worked out a 1-year deal if they knew Pep was going to stay an extra year. So it did kind of feel like that writing was on the wall. I think he's done a good job because I'm pretty sure Maresca is going to be the successor. I think he's done a good job of setting Maresca up with young, talented players, like a Semenyo, a Doku, a Haaland, bringing in kind of those Reinders, Cherky. So they're going to still have a good team, but once again, it's like Maresca, it goes to like the Arteta thing where it's like, until you win one, are you really that good? So we don't know really. We know he could do it in like a friendly competition kind of cup situation. But can he do it in the bright lights of the Premier League? I could see next year City taking a bit of a step back. Not, I think, being in the race for the title, but maybe not fully competing, if that makes sense.
I know what you mean, yeah.
And then, and then like,
go on.
Yeah, like, no, like, basically like a third place, second place, but like you're still far enough back where you're not like in a title hunt. And then the year after, I think, is when you'd really hit Maresca's second full season is when you'd have to really judge him and be like, okay, if it's not working, you got to get rid of him. But it'll be an interesting time because they still have those 115 charges hanging over their head. Where if you're sitting there, does that hit them like next year or something? I saw that there's a rule that there may be a rule change in place where teams can pay an amount of money to get out of some of these financial breaches moving forward, which maybe that happens to City and they don't get charged. But I think there's a lot of uncertainty with Pep leaving now around City. He was that constant for a decade where you're like, you know those City teams, even if they're not looking good in August, September, by March, April, May, they're going to be full steam ahead, all gears switched on. And now it's going to be an uncertainty. We just don't know.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. It'll be interesting to see the way that Maresca kind of shapes that team. Obviously, some terrific pieces still, right? Ruben Diaz, Erling Haaland, in the middle of the park, right? You just plethora of options. And then even like they have Semenyo, Doku. So like still a lot of talent top to bottom. But it'll be interesting to see who kind of become his guys, the style he wants to play. I assume he plays a very similar style. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But
it'll also be interesting to me because a guy like Haaland, maybe this summer, Jose Mourinho coming into Real Madrid, they get rid of one of Vinny or Mbappe, and you stick Haaland up top for Real Madrid. Like maybe that happens where Papa Perez decides to go all. I don't think it will at all.
Right.
But you don't know, like now that Pep's gone, some of the guys that he's brought in, like how sold are they on Man City without Pep?
I think here's the thing. I think Erling Haaland, he's like liking the fact that that's his team. I also think there would have already been more rumors, and I only say it because Erling Haaland, this wasn't a surprise. Erling, you know what I mean? Like this is again, in a sense, you're LeBron. Like he knows everything that's going on.
Maybe Erling was the wrong example to use, but a guy like Ruben Dias, a man like, thank you. A guy like Ake is probably gone. Rico Lewis is gone. Like, you're gonna get like a Gavardiol. I'm guessing he stays, but maybe he doesn't. Donnarumma, same thing. Like, did he just come in for Pep, or is he there for City? Like, so there are just some people there where it's like, will they just basically be like, listen, Pep was one of the only reasons I came in. I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. We may see a couple extra players leave, but I'd also say, again, like, it just feels like this isn't a team. Like, for instance, like, Chelsea could be like that because Chelsea are a team that are kind of like, they're not, like, Man City are obviously, like, top 3 team in the world at the moment, right? Top 5 team in the world at any point, where Chelsea have good years, but you may come in for the manager and be like, all right, I have Barca calling me, I have PSG calling me, I have Real. Man City feels like, yes, of course, a lot of those teams will call you, but it's also like, well, is it really a better option? Like, all right, if I go here, am I going to be the starter? You know, where right now I'm starting in the team, and we'll see what they do. I don't think Erling Haaland's going to spend his entire career with Man City. He did sign that like 10-year contract or whatever a couple seasons back. I do think he spends a couple more seasons, and I feel like, and I'm not going to say it's like a Harry Kane. If they go like 2 or 3 years without winning, I think he may start looking around and being like, all right, I'm now 28, 29, and again, a team like Barcelona is hitting my line. A team like Real Madrid is hitting my line. All right, now is the time to go make that move and go link up with Lamine Yamal or go link up with maybe it's Mbappe and be like, all right, let's just go for it. You know what I mean? Like, let me just go and win everything before my career's over.
It'll also be interesting to see moving forward in the transfer market how much of an impact Pep actually had on City. If they could still go out and in like the winter time and get a top 5 defender in the league and Mark Gahey and a guy probably in the hottest of form, Semenyo, if they can basically just go boom, we got them both in January. Now you're looking at it, and some of these guys might sit there and be like, well, De Zerbi interests me more than Maresca, or like it's not so much. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is we'll see how much of a pull Pep had in terms of bringing players in.
100%. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, they obviously are always going to pay as one of the best. This project is not like Manchester City are just not going to fall off the face of the earth, right? Like they're not going to become Liverpool because they just have that plethora of funds to be able to spend wherever they want. So, you know, at some point, money talks, right? End of day, money talks. It is what it is. You see what happens at Chelsea, right? Like you're like, why is this young player going there? And it's because someone threw a bag at him. So Man City are always going to stay relevant, but I agree with you. I mean, I think the big thing, as you mentioned, there's going to be a drop off. Like I almost 100% can guarantee there is going to be a drop off. Unless Maresca is really this insane manager, I think there's going to be a drop off. The key is like, how long is that drop off? Is it 6 months? Is it the first part of the season and they click again? Which, you know, Pep kind of had a system going here where they kind of like the first part of the season to try out and the second part is when they lock in. Is it a year where they have a bad year? Is it 2 years? Is it, damn, it really was Pep really pulling the strings? And I mean, they have terrific players. We all know that, but like he really was this incredible manager. It's obviously a little bittersweet. I mean, for Guardiola next, he's always wanted to coach the Brazilian national team. What's funny though is Ancelotti signed a
Brazilian?
contract. He's always wanted to coach the Brazilian. He's wrote
Not
in
the
his book.
Spanish?
For some reason, I mean, I don't know if it's just one of those things that the Spanish national team has never gotten headlines because it's obvious that like he'd want to, but it's always been a thing. Like he grew up in the era he grew up, like the Brazilian national team was one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's always had like I think he wrote in his book like, oh, I've always dreamed to one day coach them, and it may have just been him writing like, oh, that's like a dream job, like that would be cool. I don't know, but regarding next jobs, like I don't know what else there is. Like I don't think he'd want to go back to Barcelona. Honestly, I think he's good on that. I think it's probably national team or maybe retirement, maybe become a sporting director, maybe sit in the booth. I don't know.
He would be great in media.
Yeah.
I think it's probably national team. I could see him going to Spain, and now that you mentioned Brazil for like 2 World Cup cycle, 8 years, and then at that point deciding maybe, hey, I'll hang up the boots and do like TV or going back to managing. But I think he probably has, if I'm being honest, like one more job left in him, and then I could see him just basically retiring and being on TV.
I just did a quick Google search because, again, this news is just broken or had just broken last night. Obviously, if you're listening, it was last night, but for us, it's hours ago. Pep Guardiola has said that that City will be his final club managerial role. So he won't be going, which makes sense. Again, like you're not going to go and start another 10-year project somewhere, right? Or doesn't make sense. I mean, if he was the Spain manager, that'd be incredible. He'd get to link up with kind of all these younger Barca players now, like Lamine, Pedri, Gavi, well, bad news about Fermin. Kubarsi, so that'd be cool. Just as a Barca fan, being able to see him like still get to like kind of like the what if, right? Like what if Pep was the manager, like stayed. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to Premier League managers, right? And maybe we'll clip this. When it comes to Premier League managers, where does Pep Guardiola rank? And I said Premier League, not English all time, Premier League. I have it hard to find him. It's got to be top two.
Probably
and I mean, it's hard. I think there's an argument for one.
There's an argument for one, but he's 2. I mean, Sir Alex did it for 30 years, and he won like 20-something, maybe not 20, but like he won double-digit titles.
Well, I said Premier League, just Premier League.
No, I know. Oh, so like 92 we're talking?
Yeah.
Not first division when...
Nope, I said that specifically.
I still think it's Sir Alex.
Right. The only reason I said that is because, yes, in English football, the greatest manager of all time is Sir Alex Ferguson. It's the only way you can actually make an argument for Pep is if you make it just Premier League, where Sir Alex, some of those years get cut off. I do think it's still Sir Alex. Now, if you ask who's the better, like, actual manager, I think Pep is. If you ask who's a better,
tactically, yeah.
That's my point. Like,
man
all
management, yeah.
But I think I mean, it's crazy. Sir Alex has 13 Premier League trophies, right? I think Pep had 20 trophies in his last 10 years. Here at City, I think he had 6 Premier Leagues, which is ridiculous. 6 in 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
6 in 10 years, multiple FA Cups, multiple League Cups. Obviously, what he's done, Champions League, things like that too. Just absolutely insane, which makes it even crazier. Like you said, Sir Alex was coaching for 30 years. He probably did 20-something years in the Premier League alone, give or take, and he had 13 of those being Premier League. But yeah, unreal. And it's just insane that every league that Pep's gone to, he can argument that he's the greatest manager of all time. Insane. Yes, every club he's gone to, he's been able to spend, other than Barcelona, who he had La Masia. But like, people, I've seen some people debate that. Like, oh, well, Pep's never gotten to a team that wasn't good. When he took over Barcelona, they were in like one of their worst periods. I think they had just come in 5th in La Liga the year before. And then he promoted Sergio Busquets, who no one had heard of. Lionel Messi finally kind of kicked in. Like, he did all that. Goes to Bayern, yes, they were at the top of the table, but that's kind of what you earn. When you get called the greatest manager of all time after a 4-year stint with Barcelona, like you earn the right to go and take over like the best teams in the world. Like, he's not going to go to fucking Wigan and start doing a road to glory. I don't know.
Lays.
Okay. You know, fuck you. It's freezing Arsene Wenger's number 13. All right, number 3.
Rage bait. I got you.
You're a clown. Real quick, just some other quick hitters here. Fermin Lopez, unfortunately, to miss the World Cup. He played 2 days ago for Barcelona in a game where Barcelona 19 straight home wins. They went undefeated at home, which was a big deal. In La Liga, he broke his foot, which no one. I don't think he came off the game injured. He just had a broken foot. They did surgery, so he'll miss the World Cup. Spain's World Cup chances are getting a little scary. Lamine was expected to be fully healthy, and reports are coming out that he may miss the first or second group stage game, which doesn't feel good. Nico Williams is obviously battling some injuries. Fermin is out, which we still have Danny Olmo, but like Fermin's coming off a 30 goal and assist season as a rotational player, so was going to be a big part of this team.
You
So
also have
worrisome.
Dennis Tobias. Could bring him in instead.
Okay. Where's
Yeah,
it?
you didn't fall for the
What day
rage
does
bait.
Italy play? What day does Italy
You
play?
didn't fall for the rage bait. That
What
was
day does
good.
Italy play?
You learned.
What day does Italy play?
You're learning.
What day does Italy play?
You're learning.
Jamie Vardy doc on Netflix. Have you watched this yet?
I have 20 minutes left.
I haven't watched it at all. How is it? Is it worth it?
It's pretty good. I mean, I don't really know much about Jamie Vardy. Just chat shit, get banged. So I think it does do a good job of kind of diving into his personal life and his rise and his story. The only thing I kind of don't like is I have 20 minutes left and we're just still on the undefeated or the
Yeah.
Leicester title winning team.
Yep.
So I personally would like to know more. I mean, he had more than that, like for the rest of his
Right.
career. So I don't think that they're going to get into his wife, the Rebecca Vardy,
Understandable.
Colleen Rooney thing. But I would like to understand that because I honestly, I have no. I mean, I know I could do a quick Google search and like watch a video on it. I just don't want to. I'd rather see them put it in the doc. So I don't know what it really was about. I just knew it was a massive thing, and basically he stopped showing, like he stopped getting wanting to get called up for England because of it. So
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that. I really don't like Vardy. At some point I did, and then I don't know, he became very anti-Tottenham, which was just kind of weird. So
I think once you see his background, I think he's just this shithouser.
I'm totally with the shithousery, but he also got a little cocky in his older years. Like, I won a Premier League, and it's like, you had one really, really good season, man. Fucking relax. Like, I don't know.
I disagree with that because when I saw this doc was out, I did look at his statistics. He actually had more than one, because I always thought that
How
too,
many?
where it was like
How many
it
good
was
seasons
like
did he have?
one really good year that he had. But
The
he had
year
a
after, he
few.
probably did well too, right? And then what?
Yeah, let me look it up.
I know he obviously also, that season, he was probably already 27, 28. So, like, he was already in his older years.
He had the year that they won it was 15-16, right?
Yes.
He had
yes.
30 goal contributions, 38 games. Following year, he had 21 and 48. Following year, 24 and 42. Following year, 22 and 36.
But these are
Following
goal
year,
contributions,
30 and
right?
40. Yeah, goals and assists.
So, like, is that, it's like a striker who has 20 goal contributions in 48 games? That means every other game he's getting an assist or goal.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's okay. It's your job. It's your job.
Be honest. Would you want somebody at Barcelona where you could sit there and be like, every other game, this guy contributes to a goal somehow?
I mean, like, that's what Rashford does off the bench.
Exactly. And you said you wanted to keep Rashford
as my rotational bench player, not my starting striker who we're trying to prop as a good player.
That's fair. No, he had a few, how many? 1, 2, 3. He had 3 out of 5 seasons, let's say, before COVID. I think COVID ruined a lot. 3 of 5 seasons, he had 20 plus goals for Leicester, which I don't know.
No, he was good.
I personally think that's pretty good for, I mean, nowadays you want your, like, if I was to sit there and say like Dom Solanke had 20 goal contributions or 20 goals in a season, you'd be like, that's great.
That's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll watch it. Drake album, all 3 gas. I really only listen to Iceman for the most part. The other ones I've listened to. Every song's a banger. If you think it's bad, I'm just going to keep it a buck. Like, you do not know music. You are not listening to the bars. You don't understand the backstory. And that's fine. That's fine. But just, like, make sure you look in the mirror and call yourself, like, ignorant or naive. Bangers. Every song has a ridiculous beat. He's got a ton of beat switches in it. I don't care. Every song is bangers. I was telling one of our friends, Danny, we were talking about it. I was like, right now, there's not a lot of good music out. And then Drake dropped 40 bangers, 40 songs for us. So I'm good for the next 2 years. I'm good. But supposedly he might drop another album this winter.
Hopefully. I haven't listened to a single song, but I'm on Ethan's side on this.
Good.
Ethan is a ball knower with music in general.
Thank you.
So
wow, that's really nice.
If he sits there and says something's good, then it's good.
It's just, and I get it. Like some people have started like these aren't like songs I could dance to. That's not what the album's about. Like it's like listening to like country music and be like, I can't club to this. It's like, why the fuck would you like? Yeah, like no one asked you to do that.
It's super interesting. You did a country album. I didn't know that.
You're funny. You're a silly guy. All right. Obviously, a lot of news here. We are going to get into our next segment, one of our favorites. Can I get a lineup? Today, we're going to do the Brazilian national team and the French national team. Both teams announced their official 26-man roster. 26, yeah. Both teams have officially announced their 26-man roster. We're going to start off here with Brazil. Say what you're going to say.
I was just going to say, I like how France just like didn't do any of this. Like we're dropping a 50-man prelim.
Yeah.
They were like, here's your 26, deal with it, write your little articles. This is what you get.
All righty. Let's jump into it. For those that know, me and Pooch have been doing the Brazil World Cup lineup now. I think we've done it multiple times for months. Poor Owen has hated it, but now it's time for the official segment. We're allowed to fully do it. They have officially dropped their 28-man roster. Some of the names, I'll read through the whole team. In net, Alisson, Ederson, Weaverton. I have no idea who Weaverton is. Maybe it's Weverton. Defenders, Alexandro, Bremer, Danilo, Douglas Santos, Gabriel, Ibanez, Leo Pereira, Marquinhos, Wesley from Roma. The midfielders, Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro, Danilo Santos, Fabinho, Lucas Paqueta. And then the forwards, Endrick, Gabriel Martinelli, Igor Thiago, Luis Henrique, not Enrique, Mateus Cunha, Neymar, Rafinha, Ryan, and Vinicius Jr. Some names that are notable that missed out. Really just kind of João Pedro. And obviously the big talk was, will Neymar get in or not? He did. Now, before we get into the lineup, people are like, Neymar took João Pedro's spot. I do think João Pedro deserved a spot, but I don't think Neymar took his spot. I like Luis Henrique probably took his spot. You could probably make an argument Ryan Mate probably took his spot.
Luis Henrique has been doing a phenomenal job in terms of just being like his season, because I saw Arsenal were linked with him. I wanted to like do a little bit of research. He has had a fantastic season. And now that I said Zanet, this is totally off topic, but John Duran left the Russian league.
I saw that.
We forgot to talk about. I mean, I'm sorry, people, for not bringing that up sooner.
We're big John Duran guys.
I've been off the grid for a few days. So, and my brain's fuzzy. But my first look at this lineup is Gabriel Martinelli must have so much blackmail on a lot of these managers, because he's just fast. He just goes zoom. There's nothing else to his game. He just goes zoom. This team, I think, is actually going to be their midfield is going to be horrendous, in my opinion. I honestly think they have probably one of the slowest midfields, and just like a kind of midfield where you're just like, oh, brother,
yeah.
Great like FIFA 17 midfield, but in the year of our Lord 2026, not a good midfield. Defense, I think, in theory, could turn it up, but that's their biggest question mark for me, is like, will their defense be able to hold up to everything?
I said it. I mean, I guess I won't ruin it because we haven't posted yet, but we did a clip where I was asked, who do we think can win the World Cup? And I'll be honest, I said no about Brazil. Don't get me wrong, they have talented players. I just don't think this Brazil team is that good as a team. I've been looking at Ancelotti's past games here with this team, and he's done a lot of different formations. As a reminder for this segment, me and Pooch, we just do our own. It's what we would do. So that being said, let's first discuss formation. There's no obvious formation here in my eyes. So I really feel like the best way to go is probably just like a classic 4-3-3, I guess. I don't really know. Or I guess maybe a 4-2-3-1, because we said the midfield kind of sucks.
Yeah, the thing is, I think 4-2-3-1 probably is the correct answer.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the defense is set up, I really think a 5-back, like a 3 in the back with 2 wing backs would work the best. But then obviously your bread and butter, like the best part of your team, loses a guy in terms of your
Right.
attack. So then it's like, doesn't really make sense to do. Like you would want more attackers on the pitch. So I do think
Yeah.
4-2-3-1 would be best.
Okay, so we'll do a 4-2-3-1. I think the first one, let's put some easy ones in here in my eyes, right? So let's start off first off, goalkeepers, Allison. I don't think there's any disagreement there. Allison will be starting at goalkeeper for the team. Another easy one is Vinicius Jr. Off the left wing. I think that is no-brainer. Another one for me is Rafinha. Now, the question is, where does Rafinha play? Does he play off the right? Or does he play as a 10? Or does he play as actually the striker in this team? That's up for us to decide. So maybe we'll give that one a second. Another easy one I'm going to say is I feel like Gabriel has to start in the back with Marquinhos. I think our center backs are as easy as can be. So let's do that one real quick. Gabriel at left center back, and then Marquinhos will be playing at right center back. All right. Marquinhos, if I can tell that correct. All right. And then, like I said, Rafinha needs to go into one of these final front three spots. I just don't know where makes the most sense for him.
Think off the right would probably make the most.
Yeah, looking at this team, yes, I do agree with you. I think off the right, there's no really proper right wingers. Maybe Luis Enrique is technically. I think Rafinha's left-footed, so he could be cutting in something he's played before off the right. So going back to this team, and again, I'm taking one more look. I think I don't want to start like. I think Bruno Guimaraes has to be in the team, right? I think that's an easy one as one of the 2 8s, right, or 6s or whatever. Yep. And I honestly do think that Casemiro has to too. He's had a terrific year for Man United. Completely changed his career. So we've kind of given ourselves a spine here. Again, Allison will be our goalkeeper. We still have a left or right back. I haven't put those in yet. Our center backs are going to be Gabriel and Marquinhos. Our 2 8s or 6s or defensive midfielders, whatever you want to call them, are going to be Bruno Guimaraes and Casemiro. Our 2 wingers are going to be Vinicius off the left, Rafinha off the right. So the positions that me and Pooch really need to fill here are our left back, our right back, our number 10, and our striker. Pooch, where do we want to start here?
I mean, I think left back, I think Wesley's had a phenomenal year since moving over.
Has he been playing left back?
Brazilian League. Yeah, well, left wing back, because we mainly play with a 3 in the back, but I think he is a really good defender off the left, and I think he probably would get the start over everybody else that they have on their roster.
Looking at the options, yeah, the only other one in this that I'm familiar with that I know is a proper left back would be Alexandro.
Then how much, like, Wesley gives you young legs.
No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that's the only other name on this lineup that looks like a left back. He has, and like you said, so he's been playing as a left wing back for you guys, because my only thing would be maybe putting him at right back because he's right-footed. But if you said he's been playing in that position, I'm not going to doubt it.
I mean, we could put him at right back if we really wanted to, but I know that he has been playing left back for us.
I'm just like, I don't recognize, like, who the hell is Douglas Santos? I've never seen this guy's name in my life.
You don't know Douglas Santos?
But you know Douglas Santos?
Everybody knows Douglas Santos.
Oh, I like the way you put the accent. He also plays for Zenit.
Yeah.
He's actually a left back, funny enough, but he's 32. He's actually a good year for them. But regardless. What about Danilo? Which Danilo is this, by the way?
34-year-old Danilo, I'm pretty sure. The one that played for Juve for about a decade, City for 2 years, Madrid for 2 years, Porto.
Once
you see his face, you'll be like,
I can't find this guy.
Center back.
I know who we're talking about, but why can't I find him when I'm looking him up? I'm looking him up right now on FOTMob.
See, like, as we go through all these names, they have so many center backs, which makes me think that they may just do like a 3-4-3 or something like that, where they may just be like, screw the fullbacks.
I kind of agree with you that I feel like it might make sense to go 3-4-3. Should we switch?
Yeah, let's switch.
Let's
'Cause
switch. I
think the
don't like
3-4-3
yeah.
might. I hate that lineup, but I think it makes the most sense.
Right. And you have guys like Bruno Guimaraes and you have a guy like Casemiro who both can like play in that role. So who will be our other center back? Let me take a look. Our other center back options, I guess Bremer has a good shot. He's been solid.
Bremer would have a good shot.
I'd probably put Bremer. Is that good for us? We'll put Bremer there at right center back.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like he's left-footed? Center, yeah, he's right-footed. Never mind. We'll keep him on right center back. Okay. So sorry, this is bad podcasting. So we made a formation change, right? So we're going with a 3-4-3. So our back line now is Gabriel, Marquinhos, Bremer. Our left wing back, left mid will be Wesley. Our two center mids are going to be Bruno Guimaraes and Casemiro. Now the conversations we have: Vinicius at left wing. Is Rafinha right wing or is he right mid / right wing back?
I think I would still put him at right wing.
Yeah,
because
I was thinking the same thing.
I think I have another name for right wing back, quote unquote, that may
Who are you
work.
thinking there?
I was thinking Cunha, Mateus Cunha.
Okay,
but I don't
as
know
right mid.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
I don't
an
know
interesting
if
shout.
that would be too creative or not. I feel like that's a position that I've seen him maybe not play as a pure 3-4-3 for Man United,
Yeah.
but seen him play like a right wing or like in a two striker system, him dropping deeper.
Can I make a different suggestion, which kind of does the same
Go
thing?
ahead.
I'm thinking Cunha is the left mid, Wesley is the right mid. Cunha's played off
I'm
that
okay
left
with
side,
that.
and then he
I'm
could
okay
kind of
with
play
that.
as a 10. You know what I mean? Where Vinicius will keep the width, and you have Gabriel as your left center back to kind of protect that side of the field. So now we just have the striker, and for me, this isn't hard. I think it's Iker Thiago. Very, very good season, and only proper 9.
I may have to disagree because I think he's honestly just a fraud.
Okay. Who are you
I
going
think
to put?
he's a penalty merchant. I think here, I may want to go Endrick, if I'm being totally honest. I know that may be a wild shout.
5'8" Endrick? That little boy?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, the only other thing I could maybe think of would be Martinelli at striker because he's a
No,
peace
get the
merchant.
fuck out of here. You're going to put Martinelli in over Igor Thiago?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I just think Thiago's a legitimate penalty merchant. I saw him play against City in a few other games this year, and he didn't do it for me in terms of like a starting Brazilian striker. Let me look at his stats for this year. Does it show me how many pens
9
he has?
penalties. His
9 penalties on
of
22 goals. So almost half his goals are just pens. I don't know. I think he will start. I'm okay giving him the starting spot. But I think that there are options out there that you could put in over him. And one of them maybe is Neymar, where you start Neymar at the 9. I don't think he will. I don't think.
Well, the other argument you could probably do is you could have probably started Cunha as the 9, as like a false 9 kind of idea.
Yeah.
In like a 3-5-2 or like Lucas Paqueta. So yeah, that being said, I do think Igor Thiago probably gets the start. Low key though, looking at this team, I kind of feel like João Pedro would have probably been the best number 9 option.
Been the best number 9. In all honesty, I know people are saying Endrick shouldn't have gotten it because he has like a grade 4 hamstring tear, whatever it's called. But in my opinion, I wouldn't have taken, and this once again may also be a wild shout, just like my Endrick at striker shout. I would have taken João Pedro over Ryan.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people not happy about that.
It's like
just another winger.
Yeah, and it's like he had 6 good months. Like, I don't think, to me, that should solidify you as a starter over a guy who's been doing it for a few years.
Here's
my Pedro.
I mean, there's no argument for João Pedro or Ryan. Here's my argument for Ryan is I agree with your saying, but they value the Brazil League. Like they see it because, for instance, you have like Lucas Paqueta, right? Like, and any other team would not get it. He's playing in Brazil. Everyone would be like, whatever. But like, they clearly value that. I think what's interesting about this Brazil team, just kind of wrapping up our thoughts, is like the midfielders. Like, and I know Brazil's never really been known for having incredible midfielders, but like they have two guys that I think are really starting quality, right? Like and I guess you can make an argument Lucas Paqueta probably could start for them, but like Fabinho's washed, Danilo Santos is washed. I don't know. Like this team, I think this team gets carried a little bit by the badge, you know, in the sense that people think they're good. Yeah.
They're very top heavy.
Very
they
top
have a
heavy.
lot of really good attackers and no real good like midfielders besides one or like they're very not only top heavy but starting 11 heavy. Like you look past that starting 11 and you're like, ooh, besides the strike, like the attackers.
100%. So going back, our team will be Alisson and net, back three of Gabriel, Marquinhos, and Bremer. Our left mid will be Mateus Cunha. Our two center mids are Bruno Guimaraes and Casemiro. Our right mid is Wesley, and then a front three of Vinny Jr., Igor Thiago, and Rafinha. I think, honestly, as much as we're saying, I don't know if he'll do this or not, I really do think this will probably be the lineup. I do think he probably plays Alexandro. I don't know why. He just feels like the type of guy that's going to really like Alexandro. I don't, you know what I mean? It's one of the, like, Alexandro's going to play a lot. Or I could see Alexandro totally, like, playing as left center back. I don't know, like doing something dumb like that. But that is our Brazil. We've been talking about that for months, so it's kind of nice to get that off our chest. You know, that was something that it's been on my chest. It was very therapeutic, and honestly, didn't hit the same as I thought it would. But
really shit team that came out.
Yeah, like fuck you, Brazil. I don't think Brazil. I think like Morocco has a better team than Brazil, honestly. But maybe that's a hot take. Maybe not Morocco. But let's move over to our next one. So the French national team France has officially announced their squad going to the World Cup. I'm going to say the names, but some names that are not going. Camavinga, which this was kind of crazy. Ligue 1's leading goal scorer, who did not get any awards for anything this year. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, which is I think his name is like Lepal. Didn't get called up for France, any of that. Let's go through the names. Goalkeepers, Samba from Rennes, Mike Maignan from Milan, Rissier from RC Lens. The defenders, Malo Gusto, Luca Digne, Dayot Upamecano, William Saliba, Ibrahima Konate, Jules Koundé, Theo Hernandez, Lucas Hernandez, Maxence Lacroix. In the midfield, you have Warren Zayed Emery, Tchouameni, N'Golo Kante, Adrien Rabiot. I cannot believe Rabiot is still making these teams, by the way. Ryan Cherki.
I know.
Kone, Manu, what is it? Manu Kone from Roma? Is that his name?
Yes. Yeah.
He's your player.
Manu
yeah.
Kone. Yeah.
Dembele, Marcus Thuram, Kylian Mbappe, Michael Olise. I cannot believe Jean-Philippe Mateta has made the team. Desiree Doué, Magnus Akolice from Monaco has been very good, and then Bradley Barcola. We said Camavinga. That's probably the first one that's a big name. Now, another interesting one, and it's because Portugal will be announcing their team today. Junior Kropi is French. He's also Portuguese. And there's a chance he gets a call up to the Portuguese national team.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
So that could be interesting. Now, I probably would have called up Kropi over Rabiot, over Mateta. I get Mateta is kind of a profile they don't really have in the team, like a proper 9.
Yeah, I think he takes over from the Olivier Giroud.
Exactly.
Like that type of striker. I also am shocked they brought so many defenders, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Luca Digne, I'm shocked he's making the team.
I can't believe Theo Hernandez made the team. I mean, he's over at Al Hilal, and I don't know if you've seen this, like the balloon and stripper parties or whatever he was having when he was at Milan.
Yeah.
It's like, even his brother, Lucas, like, I know the Hernandez brothers are very athletic and good players, but like, are they really necessary in this team? I don't know. Midfielders are pretty standard. Again, I can't believe Rabiot is still making this team, but I guess if you're not going to take Camavinga, you kind of have to take Rabiot. I don't know any. I don't know. I think they have a good squad here. I think let's jump in our lineup, right? That's what we're doing. So are we going 4-3-3? I think that's kind of
standard. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, pretty standard here for the squad. So we'll go with the standard 4-3-3. In between the sticks, I don't think it's a conversation. Mike Maignan there. I think let's just throw him in at starting striker, the dictator, Kylian Mbappe.
Although, yeah,
where are you thinking left wing?
I mean, they just have so many good attacking options, which
Yeah.
once again is why you bring in Akuche.
Akaluche. He's been very good for Monaco. I think you look at him look differently if he was listed as a midfielder versus an attacker. But go on.
like I understand that, but then when you look at like, okay, like let's say we're gonna end up doing a front three of Dembele, Mbappe, and Olise. You then look at all of their backups, and it's like Thuram, Mateta, Barcola, and Doué. This kid's gonna get zero. Like, you might as well at that point just bring Camavinga and get an extra midfielder in there, because every single attacker that you
he's had a bad year for Madrid, but he should have been in the team. Here's my point is, I think they've done Akaluche, however the fuck you say his name. I think they've done him a bit of a disservice by putting him as an attacker. If they put him as a midfielder, you go, oh, you have two true number 10s in him and Shirky. And
which is probably what it is. Like,
right. And you'd probably be like, why is Tio Hernandez there? That should become a Vinga spot, right? And I think they've done a disservice because you're like, oh, this guy's not going to play. That being said, as we've been talking, I've been thinking about it. Do we want to put Mbappe off the left and then Dembele as the striker?
Yeah, I think that's probably better.
That's probably what they're going to do, right?
Once again, I mean, this is ours, but I have a feeling Deschamps is going to do Thuram starting because he loves that Olivier Giroud, Thuram, Mateta 9.
Yep.
But if this is ours, this is what we're doing. I do think Mbappe off the left, Dembele down the center would make sense, and then Olise off the right.
That's just such a ridiculous front three.
I know.
I would say they're prime too.
And then it's like okay, Dembele's not doing good. Let's bring in Marcus Thuram or Mateta. Right. Oh, Mbappe's not having a good game. Desiree Doué, hop on there. Like,
well, you know that's not going to happen. Mbappe's not coming off the pitch.
Yeah.
He's in his full Ronaldo. But again, like, the subs will be nuts, right? If, like you said, Dembele's not playing well, you sub him off and Doué comes on, and then Mbappe plays through the middle and Doué off the left, or like,
they just have so many options.
Ridiculous. All right, let's look at some other names. I think Upamecano and Saliba are they solidified as the center backs? I think the only person maybe has a shout is Konate, but I don't know if he does.
I do think Saliba and Upamecano would be the center backs, and then I think you put Koundé out at right back.
I'd agree with that as well. I think that's, by the way, this team could be sick with a back three too. This team could be so sick with a back three, but I agree with you. I would keep it like this. And then off the left, I can't believe it. Does Tio Hernandez get in?
I was going to say, I think Tio Hernandez is the starter off the left.
That's so bad.
I do think. They're going to be doing poppers in the locker room before the game, or balloons or whatever.
He was always so sick in FIFA because he had like 98 pace.
Yeah.
Low-key, this team would be so sick with a back three. I'm not going to do it. All right. Then we have our three midfield options. I think looking at it, the first name that has to go in for me is Tchouaméni, playing at Real Madrid, playing decently, fighting players. So he would go in for me as either a 6 or as kind of like he's either playing as a solo 6, or I think he's playing in a double pivot in a 4-2-3-1 type of situation. But to be fair, in a 4-2-3-1, Mbappe's not playing as a left midfielder. He's always going to play as a left wing. I think it's very hard to keep Ryan Shirky off the field. The form he's in, I don't know if I could keep him off the field.
100%.
Right? We'd play Shirky as one of the center mids. And then it's this last spot. I don't know if it's Zaire Emery for me. It might be Kone. And I don't, is it N'Golo Kante? I don't know.
So I honestly don't think it would be Conte. I think he's basically there as like a sub.
Yep.
I think it comes down to Kone or Zaire Emery. However, I know what Deschamps is going to do, and Rabiot is going to start.
Rabiot's going in that team.
Rabiot will start, but
this is our team, though.
Our team, I think Zaire Emery to me is more of a 6 than an 8, but like you said, Tchouaméni is by with it. So he can play both ways. Like, he can go 6 or 8.
Yeah.
I do think Kone, though, should get them. Like, if we're saying Tchouaméni is a 6 in this team, Kone then comes in as the 8. He's one of the best, and he's 25, so it's not really up and coming. But if he moves out of Roma this summer, he's going to like a top 6 team in the world. Like, that's how good this guy is.
Stake your claim.
He's one of the most underrated 8s in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And all he needs is that big move. I could see him going to like a Bayern Munich and people being like, France did it again. They just developed another world-class
Yep.
like talent. Like, I think he will. That's my opinion. I think he
Okay.
gets the start.
I'm looking right now, by the way. So he's been playing this team in a 4-2-3-1, which is kind of what we said. It's been Tchouaméni and Rabiot as both the eights with in one of the right. With Dembele, Olise, Ekitike at one point being like the three, and then Mbappe is the striker. So that could be, I mean, Ekitike's obviously out, but I could see that too. Like Olise playing as a 10, Dembele off the right, Doué off the left, right? If you want to take maybe one of these guys out, right? You just hype the fuck out of Kone, which I don't watch him play, but for us, we'd go 4-3-3, but I could see that too, where Olise plays as a 10, Dembele off the right, Mbappe is the starting striker, Doué is your left.
They just have so many options throughout the pitch. I think that's why they're the favorite to win, because it's like the only flaw in this team is their fullbacks, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's a left back especially. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
like,
their left back especially, but even like, okay, like right back maybe is an issue after Koundé, because like Malo Gusto and Digne, like I'm not really like, I'm like like,
well, Digne's a left back.
Either way, like Lucas Hernandez too, like none of them besides Koundé for fullback I'm like excited about.
Yep.
But it's also crazy because Gusto, Digne, and both Hernandez brothers, we put them on that Brazilian team, and Brazil instantly is one of the teams of the turn. Like, you're looking at them like they could win it. Like, so it's crazy just the talent level that they have here.
It's insane. Looking at it, and even just like in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe I would do this or try it. Like, so many options. But Mbappe's gonna fuck it up. So that is our team. Just go back through. We went 4-3-3 with a 6 and 2 8s. Mike Maignan between the sticks. Somehow still Theo Hernandez is at left back for us. There's probably an argument for Digne.
No.
Our center backs, William Saliba and Dayot Upamecano. Right back, we've gone for Jules Koundé. In the 6, we have Tchouaméni. In the 8, or maybe 8 and then a 10, you have Kone, and then you have Ryan Cherki. And then your front 3 of Kylian Mbappe, Dembele, and Michael Olise. Yeah, this is going to be one of the best teams at the World Cup. We will see how far they go. We will see if Dictator Mbappe is able to lead them. But I could really see this being one of those teams that people go, wow, how did that team not win anything? Because of the fact that they have a lot of egos. And I could also see them in maybe one of the games that maybe Mbappe doesn't play for some reason, looking their best. But maybe I'm just a hater. I'm probably just a hater. But yeah, that was Can I Get a Lineup? So we've done France and Brazil. We're obviously going to keep going here. What did we do last week? We did Spain and we did
Portugal. Iberian Peninsula.
Yes. I cannot wait to do England. That one is going to be a video that gets us a lot of views. 2 Americans talking about the English, especially when somehow we slip James Maddison into the 10, who did not get called up. Somehow he's going to be in the 10, and somehow Ben White's going to be starting at right back. All right, let's move in to a quick Premier League recap from the weekend. So City win the FA Cup final 1-0 over Chelsea. Antoine Semenyo with the goal there. I didn't watch this, honestly. I was kind of running around all weekend. It was the missus' birthday. I saw the highlights, looked a decent game. I don't know, Pooch, thoughts?
Sadly, this segment's going to suck for me because I also did not watch this game. Yeah. But from what I heard, City basically dominated, so...
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing. I heard Chelsea did not look good. City looked decent. And what I watched, it looked okay. Villa beat Liverpool 4-2. I think we called this. At least you did.
Yeah.
I think you called it.
Yeah, I did. Where Liverpool just are on the beach already. They know that they got Champions League, so it doesn't matter to them.
I mentioned earlier in the episode, but like Szoboszlai, like the way he was talking to in that video, he was like, yeah, we know it's a transition season, so it's kind of whatever. He said he was like, it's not acceptable the way the season's been, but he said like, at this point we have to accept and move on. It kind of felt a little like, all right, you're checked out. United beat Forest 3-2. All right. Newcastle.
Yeah.
Good for them. You were on the bachelor party. I was with the missus doing birthday shenanigans all weekend and working. Newcastle beat West Ham 3-1. This is a game actually I did watch in between it all. At this point, Tottenham only need a draw from one of the last 2 matches to essentially secure safety. I'm going to say something, and West Ham and Spurs have a little bit of a rivalry, just like the whole London thing, obviously. I don't feel bad, but I do feel bad because I'm looking at the fans as like you're watching them like essentially get relegated before your eyes, and it's like, damn, like that just sucks. Like, because that could be me very quickly, but also fuck them. Also, I will say Tati Castellanos, banger. This dude is the new Richarlison. He just is going to score bangers. He's going to press really hard. He's going to probably do something stupid like take his shirt off when he's like on an offsides goal, and he's going to need 30 chances to score. But when he does score, it's going to be fucking hype, and you're going to love him. I think, hot take, if I'm Spurs, I sell Richarlison this summer. So let me get Tati Castellanos in. Just get me Tati in. Just replace him. Swap for swap. I think that's a perfect move for everybody. But yeah, Newcastle, West Ham, Tottenham just need a draw from one of our last 2 games. Ideally, we get it against Chelsea, and we're essentially safe because the goal differential is like, I think West Ham has -22. We have -9. So we'll see how that plays out. It would be very Spursy for us to fuck that up or let it go to the final day. And moving on, another day of corruption. Arsenal beat Burnley 1-0. Kai Havertz with a header. Kai Havertz also slide tackled a Burnley player and put his studs literally on his ankle. I don't understand how this was not a red card. Let's go to our chief Arsenal defender.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that was a red card too. I saw it in real time. I was shocked, even when VAR looked at it, that it wasn't a red. So I'm on the same boat as you. We got off scot-free on that one. I don't know if it would have changed. I mean, it would have changed the game, but I don't know by how much, because Burnley it was one of those games where they felt in it, but their first shot on goal was in the 57th minute. So if we had control of the game, I think we would have seen it out even with 10 guys. But yeah, I mean, one step closer. That's all you can ask. We have
One
2
game left.
finals left. Yeah, 2 finals left. So we gotta just keep pushing. We just gotta keep pushing.
Yeah, quick, just Premier League table check. So Manchester City will be playing Bournemouth tomorrow. So they, depending on what they do, right, this could be wrapped up by then. If they win, it'll obviously kind of go to. Wait a second. If City win out, do they win the league?
No.
Okay, so Fama must be wrong here. They're on 77 points. You're on 82.
Yeah, they have an extra game to play. They win.
So if they win, they'll be on 80. And in the final game, they could jump you. This has to be wrong.
No, because we still have to play the extra game.
I'm sorry. You're right. You have to still play the final game. Sorry. That's yes. Gonna have to cut that. City on 77 points. Arsenal on 82. They will be taking on Bournemouth. So we'll see how that goes. That could determine the title right there. But yeah, I mean, Pooch, thought. I mean, I know it's one step closer, but like, are you already putting your hands on the medal? Are you already kissing the trophy?
No, you still got to see out the last game. I mean, I still think, I've said it for a few months now, I think the 2 games that City slip up in is Everton and Bournemouth.
Okay.
So I can see them slipping up later today against Bournemouth, just because Bournemouth still has something to play for, like Everton. And they're in a really good form right now. But I also am confident enough in our team to go to Selhurst Park if need be and get a win there. And I think a lot of the way that the Crystal Palace players and manager have been speaking in the past few weeks makes it seem like they're already basically saying, do not blame us if we get dog walked by Arsenal. Like,
is that what you took from Glasner's comments? No,
because Wharton said it again, I think yesterday or 2 days ago.
I didn't know what he said.
It was basically just like, if Arsenal win the league, it's not our fault. Like, don't get mad at us, is what he said. He was like, just because we lose to them because we're trying to rest guys for a tournament like for a cup final in 3 days, which would mean more to our club than City winning the Premier League. Like, don't get mad at us. Like, if we decide to rest players.
Well, Glasner has changed that. I'm looking at an article right now that he has instead said that he will play his strongest team.
That's fair. Like,
he should.
I don't care either way. Yeah, he should.
I don't know how much of a difference it makes for you, but
yeah, like I just think that the Palace players will have in their head more, even if it's not like consciously thinking like, oh, there's that 50-50 challenge. They're all professionals. They'll still go in hard, but maybe not as hard as they would, because they know, hey, World Cup final in 3 days. Do I really want to potentially hurt myself? With that being said, I still think Bournemouth get it done later today.
Wow. All right. You called your shot.
Yeah.
Relying on another team to do your dirty work. No problem. Let's move over to La Liga.
It's fair. We had 37 games to do our own work, which we have. So
yeah, now you're basing it on another team. No problem. Barcelona beat Betis in Robert Lewandowski's final home match. Lewandowski, 4 seasons with Barca, 3 league titles. He's number 11 right now in Barca all-time goals.
it's kind of crazy.
Right. Which, don't get me wrong, it's like the top 5 is insane number-wise, but like if he stayed one more season, I think just based on his averages, he would probably finish at 6. His quotes are incredible, essentially saying, Barca forever is my home. I'm leaving a piece of me here. He said, my body may leave, but my heart is always here. Things like that, which got to feel a little salty if you're a Bayern fan. This guy's just basically, all that. But Barca fans are internally grateful. When he came is when things really turned around. He didn't have to come. He was obviously top of the world at Bayern, and he decided like this was something he wanted and pushed for the move. And as ever since, he's always been in good form. He goes down as a Barca legend, like legitimately. But on top of that too, Barcelona beating Betis means that they go undefeated in La Liga at home. So 19 games straight. A quick clap for the lads. That's why we played one of our better teams strength-wise. Unfortunately, Fermin Lopez picked up a knock, which has knocked him out of the World Cup. I shouldn't say a knock. He had to have surgery on his foot. But really impressive season from the boys. And now we just turn our eyes to the World Cup. There, it's our final game at the Camp Nou for a bit because they're putting the top of the stadium on. And so for like the first couple of games of next season, I think they'll be back at the MIDWEEK. La Liga right now, the real story here is just the table. Again, so Sevilla are I'm not going to say safe, but we've been talking about Sevilla a lot. Sevilla are in a good position.
Close to safe as they could be.
I just can't believe it. Looking at the table, the teams that are in relegation at the moment are Girona, Mallorca, Real Oviedo. Oviedo is relegated. Don't worry about them. Mallorca lost to Levante this week. Levante jumped out of relegation. They're now in 15th, and Mallorca dropped to 19th. Mallorca has a chance to still get out of this. They will be playing Oviedo, so they have arguably 3 points in the bag. Girona's playing Elche, who are directly above them in the relegation. So 17th versus 18th. So that's a relegation decider. Osasuna plays Getafe, which Getafe are in the Champions
5th, 7th.
They're in 7th on 48 points, but it's insane. There's a team like Sevilla who have 43 points. Sorry, they can't jump up. Sorry. Bilbao is on 45 points. They're safe. Okay, I'm doing some of the math because a couple of weeks ago,
Sevilla's the top
yes
of the could get relegated.
Sevilla could finish this season in 9th, or they could finish this season relegated. I don't think I've ever seen a table this insane. And they're in 13th. Like Alaves are in the same position. Osasuna are in the same position. I'm trying to see who else.
I think we all know how this is going to go, though. It's just going to be Elche and Osasuna that get relegated.
Well, I see what you're saying.
I think Mallorca and Girona will both win, and then next thing you know, it's like, okay, Osasuna and Elche relegated, and then everybody will go, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, insane, just insane. Like
but
some of these
still
teams,
crazy. This table.
I don't think I've ever seen a table like this, honestly.
Yeah.
I legitimately have never seen a table as competitive.
It's legitimately like everywhere. Like Getafe could finish in 7th.
Yep.
Or they could finish as low as like 10th or 11th. Like they still have something to play for.
Yep.
Rayo Vallecano could finish in 7th, or they could sit there and be like 12th at the end of the day.
It's just insane too. Like Alaves are in a safe spot. Alaves beat Barcelona on May 13th because we rotated after we won the trophy. They and it's just funny because like now they're kind of safe. They're not fully, but they're kind of safe.
That could have saved them that you guys rotated. Like it's legitimately, they could be on. They could be the team right now in the relegation zone, going, oh shit,
insane. So the final day it'll be this weekend. So not really something for us to preview, but we're just recapping it. The final day will be this weekend. Definitely something to tune into and kind of just see because all teams will play. Everyone's on 37. Yeah, everyone's on 37 played. So some insanity there. Moving over to Serie A. So Serie A is also having a little bit of craziness when it comes to European spots. So Juventus, I saw this. They lost to Fiorentina 2-0, and they have now dropped to what, 7th?
6th.
6th. Okay, so they're out of the European spots, correct?
They are in Europa League as of right now.
They're out of Champions League spots.
Yeah. They're out of Champions League spots, and it's looking bleak. They basically had what's it called, where they had everything in front of them. All they needed to do was win out, and they blew it. But yeah, I think it's interesting. Like Como this weekend obviously beat Parma. You also had Roma beat Lazio 2-0, 2 red cards in that one, which was massive for Roma. And then Milan beat Genoa, sorry. So now this race in general is Napoli in second, 73. They locked up Champions League, but they still could finish in fourth. Milan in third on 70, Roma in fourth on 70, Como in fifth on 68, and then Juve in sixth on 68. So it is a crazy. I mean, you could legitimately have at the end of this Roma in second, Napoli third, Milan fifth, Como fourth. It's crazy. Like you could have anything on the final day. So it is a crazy European battle, which happened last year as well, where Roma basically was in seventh, I believe, to start the day and ended the day in sixth, but 2 separate times they were in fourth during the last day. So it was a crazy kind of European spot race last year, and it's the same thing this year.
100%. So another one, it's obviously the best part of the year is kind of like this final day, final weekend where, you kind of figure out where everyone's going to end up. Real quick around the world. So the Scottish Championship. So we had spoken about this a couple episodes back, or I think weeks ago, about how in Scotland, Pooch, maybe you could explain it better because I know you explained it then. What is it? It's so the top 4 teams go into a playoff or something, or they all play each other at the end?
Yeah, I believe it's the top 6, I want to say, and then the bottom 6 go into like a relegation playoff. Let me just pull. Yeah, it is 6. So I believe it's after. I forget how many games it's after, but it's after 32.
It's the final 5 games.
Is it the final 5 or the final 10? It may be the final 10 where they play each team home and away.
I'll tell you right now.
No, it's the final 5.
It's the final 5,
1,
right?
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It's the final 5 games where the league splits up into 2. You have a championship and relegation group, and then you just play all the other 5 teams in your group. So Hearts at the time were maybe like 10 points or 12 points adrift at the top. And then Celtic just went on a tear. Celtic, I'm looking at it right now. They have not lost since March 22nd to Dundee United, and that was before the merger. So they've just been killing everybody in that time frame. And I mean, you can get into the actual what happened after the game, but they beat Hearts to basically win to win the Scottish Prem by 2 points this past weekend.
Yeah, insane. And just to talk a little bit on the controversy. So a lot of people are like, oh, you got to feel for Hearts. I don't really care so much in the fact that they lost to lose it. That's the way the league is set up. It's obviously heartbreaking, but it is what it is. What was crazy is, so after Celtics score, the fans rush the field and start going nuts. They end up actually assaulting some of the Hearts players, and so the players walk off the field and the game is deemed abandoned. The problem is the game was not actually called dead. It just was deemed abandoned. So that's where I felt for the Hearts players, because it's I don't know. It's one thing to lose the game. It's another thing you get assaulted on the fucking field.
Yeah.
And then you have to walk off out of your own safety and to get out of there. And it's oh, well, by the way, you also forfeited the game essentially. Yeah. So game ended 3-1. So it kind of is what it was. But it was, I think, after Osman's goal in the 98th. I don't know. It's obviously just heartbreaking, but it is what it is.
I also think what they should do, and tell me if, because I saw somebody on Twitter say this, and I think it might be a good idea. Instead of the Community Shield, where it's the FA Cup winner versus the Premier League winner, do the winner of the Scottish League versus the winner of the Premier League. I think that would be so fun, because you always also see these Celtic win, and one of the immediate takes I saw was this Celtic team would finish third in the Prem. And it's okay, cool. have them go up against the Premier League winners, see how good they would be. Like,
I saw somebody say that Celtic would win the Prem in like 3 years or something, and I was like, all right,
yeah,
you're on the piss.
But it's like, oh, let's see it, like, because that would be fun to actually watch, like Scotland versus like.
Well, it'd be better than what
England.
the Shield is now. It's obviously a charity match, but it's like no one fucking watches it. Nobody cares. That would actually have like people would tune in and be like, all right, let's get into it.
The fans would be up for it. They'd be like, it would be a little bit like a national thing where it's like, okay, we want England to, maybe not, we want like a team like a Arsenal or like there's some obviously like tribalism there, but you would get up for that. Like you'd be like, let me tune into that. I want to see that instead of like, all right, let's watch Man City, Man United for the 100th time, or Man City, Arsenal for the 100th time.
No one watches it. No, like
unless it's your team. Unless it's your team, you don't watch it.
Right, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, obviously you're going to watch your team's games. Like, whatever. My point is it has no appeal like to the average fan. But yeah, that was the recap there of the weekend. So obviously a big weekend. We will see. We're getting into the final one. I can't wait for Thursday's episode. I guess Friday's episode. We record on Thursday nights. When we get into the final day, we'll see if there's going to be final day drama, obviously in the Premier League. But that being said, let's get into a preview. Real quick. So tonight we have Chelsea versus Tottenham, Bournemouth versus City. We're going to start with Chelsea, Tottenham. Spurs just need to draw. They just need to draw on their mat. It is not official, but it's like essentially safe. I'll just get a result. Just get a result. Just take the draw. Make the final day very easy on me. I'd like to say, we're going to go in there and get a win, but we just struggle so much at Stamford Bridge. This is our boogeyman. This is This is Manchester City's against Tottenham, where they can't beat us. Like, it doesn't matter what form Chelsea's in; they always beat us. It's why I hate Chelsea. Just get me a result. So we'll see there. I don't know. Any thoughts on that game? What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a draw.
I
think Chelsea are in bad form, but like you said, when it comes to Tottenham at Stamford Bridge, it just seems to always go in Chelsea's favor some way or another.
Yeah.
But I think Tottenham will get a point out of this. They'll scratch and claw to get that, and then it'll make that final day easier.
I also wouldn't be surprised to see us play like the worst footy you've ever seen in your life. And just make it like, all right, we're just going to defend. We need 1 point. I don't care. We'll get at it. We're not at home. Like, we're on the road. Like, who gives a fuck? Just keep yourself up. Bournemouth versus City. So you've already given your take earlier in the show. I'll let you obviously go more in depth if you like. But Bournemouth, one of the most informed teams in in England, as well as the fact a team that's fighting for a European spot, right? We've talked a lot about the top two in the table, but Bournemouth right now are in 6th. They're on 55 points. A win here today would put them on 58 and would put them within reach of taking Liverpool's Champions League spot. Well, what's going on right now, because of City winning the FA Cup, does that mean that England get an 8th Europe spot? Something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Which is another issue in general that I have. The team in 8th place should not be playing in Europe and England, but that's just a personal thing.
It's all the stupid coefficient shit.
I agree, but okay, whatever. It's just my opinion.
So tell me, you're taking Bournemouth here. You're taking Bournemouth for a win or a result?
A draw. Once again, I think it's going to be 2-1 City, and then in the 80-something minute, Bournemouth will draw it up. City will throw every single attacker they have left on the bench on the field. Not enough. Draw.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to take City for a win here. I think it's been very clear that with Pep announcing he's leaving, he's used everything he has in the tank.
Yeah. It's like all of his ammo. He unloaded the clip. He unloaded the clip.
I mean, and I know that obviously has nothing to do with you guys. Like, if you guys get a result this weekend, like, who gives a fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I just find it hard to believe that these players are going to fuck it up ahead of time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just crazy, this group, which is funny because this group has not been his championship group. Like, the projected lineup for this weekend is Mateus Nunes, Kusanov, Gahey, Nico O'Reilly, Donnarumma, Nico Gonzalez. Bernardo Silva's been one of his guys. Antoine Semenyo, Shirky, Doku, and then Holland. You have like 2 of his guys in the team, but it still gets this like crazy just robot out of them. I don't know.
I also think the travel will be a lot. I mean, and I know it's maybe not, it's not something we really talk about a bunch.
Okay.
But like for these guys, they just had to come down from Manchester to London for the FA Cup final. and then go. Yeah, I don't know if they decided to stay in London or if they went back to Manchester. Either way, you now have to go to literally the most southern point, basically, in England to play Bournemouth. And it's like, if they did have to go up to Manchester and then back to Bournemouth, it's just a lot of travel. And I do think that does play a part sometimes in terms of your legs constantly being like, you're taking time, like you have your daily routines, and then when you're every 3 days doing that, but they're professionals. So
I was just about to say, and respect, yeah, like they're professionals. And they're the type of guys that they're playing 3 games a week at certain
But you
points.
do see it with managers. Like Klopp said it a few years back. I think Arteta's said it this year. Pep has said it in the past, where they play like on Wednesday in the Champions League, like a Wednesday night game, and then they have English time, a 12 p.m. start on a Saturday, and they're like, we don't get the adequate time to recover.
Right.
So I think that's more of my point, is like not just the plane, but the travel with the recovery, where you don't get to be like, okay, we had a game Saturday, our next game's at home on Tuesday, where I can basically just do my normal recovery at my performance center and all of that. You have to be constantly taking the time out to move in between places. So
Understandable.
that was my point.
All right, fair enough. And then this week as well, we have the UEFA Europa League final. We have Freiburg versus Aston Villa. Is everyone writing off Freiburg?
Yes.
Is this going to be like your like full take? Like you're fully locked in on Aston Villa here?
I think your follow-up question should be, should everybody be writing off Freiburg?
Should they?
Yes.
Okay, why is that?
Because they're ass.
All right, let's just go through their starting lineup and you tell me if they're ass or not.
Okay.
This was, by the way, they won this weekend again, just Red Bull Leipzig 4-1. But apparently they're ass. They started in goal, Atubolo, who's actually, I've heard a lot about him. He's actually a very good young goalkeeper. Left back, Makengo. Never heard of him. Leinart at center back. Ginter, center back. We know him.
Which one, Mateus or Christian?
Call Mateus. True at right back. Eggestein at center mid. Hoffler at center mid. Sharhant at left mid. Manzambi, which I feel like I've heard this guy's name. Johan Manzambi, Swiss 20-year-old. I don't know. I feel like he's had a good year for them. Maybe I'm wrong. Besti at right mid. And then Matanovic at striker. Are you writing them off?
Yes.
Okay, give me one more sec. They also have on their team Maximilian Phillip. Have you thought about that?
I have.
All right, well, whatever, fine. I'm not going to keep going off. Yeah, I think Villa beat them 3-0. Yeah, easy enough. Yeah, that's our big preview. I really don't have much more. Owen decided to not do a footy feud for us because he is silly. We're going to let Owen come on the show and explain himself. Owen, you're live on the Class is Permanent podcast.
Hey guys, good to be back with you all.
Is there a reason we don't have a footy feud?
I am driving across the country, starting at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and a lot of the time that I would have spent curating a footy feud for you guys has thus been spent packing and preparing for said journey. I apologize to both Pooch and E, as well as all of the loyal listeners to this pod, but you'll get your footy feuds. Stop yelling at me and be patient, please.
There may be a new clip that drops tomorrow. We may have filmed additional ones. Can you just apologize to Pierce? Shout out Pierce on TikTok.
Pierce, man.
Said he really loves footy feud.
I really am sorry, truly. And that comes from the bottom of my heart. You mean the world to me. And please reach out for any reason.
Okay. Oh, that was terrific. Well, that being said, let's wrap this one up. Obviously, a really big episode here. A lot of info. I feel like we did a good job of breaking it all down and not going too over the top. We did. I'm sorry, Owen. We did do the Brazil starting World Cup lineup. I know you hate when we do that, but we had to do that today.
I only hate when you guys do it in January.
We should have written it down. Somebody, if you're listening to this, Pierce, Pierce, go back to our episodes in January. I don't know which one we do. Go back and see how many of this we got right.
Bro, it was like
we definitely didn't play a back three.
You guys talked for like an hour. I think you said every Brazilian player that has ever played football.
Oh, I see how it is. Well, that being said, we'll let you guys all go. Yeah, I got nothing for you. Come on, you Spurs. Up the city. Class is permanent. Form is temporary. We will see you guys on Friday. Peace.